As of right now, I've been playing Grand Theft Auto 5 for a week, and I can say that I don't want to stop. I played a lot of games this year, and this is the one that I really don't want to end. Right now I'm heading into the final mission, and I'm perplexed and full of mixed emotions. I mean, the end itself, I don't want to risk spoiling it. Could be a Mass Effect 3-like disappointment, but frankly, I don't think that's really going to matter. It wouldn't change my feelings on all that I've seen and everything that I've done. I mean, the game is big in a lot of ways, starting with the 7.5 gigabyte install disc. The world is a huge place, and you've probably seen that in all the trailers and the screenshots, but it also just feels so dense. There's just so much to see and so much to do, and virtually all of it is not only fun, but it's memorable, especially when you start to meet the 3 playable characters in the game.
This is my job, not your call to make.
Despite the potential for the 3 characters to follow some familiar stereotypes, the gangster, the high-class criminal, or a total fucking psycho, each one actually evolves into something quite different from what I expected as their stories unfolded. It goes beyond their individual special abilities, which really add a ton of variety to their usefulness in various missions and heists in the gameplay, and which I became increasingly reliant upon as the chases turn more intense and the firefights more deadly. You can actually switch between the characters at any time when you're not on a mission, and though the load times can be inconsistent and sometimes feel long, it's always nice to find a random moment, like Trevor waking up on the train tracks after being tased by a random civilian. No explanation, that just happens. The in-mission switching is a lot faster and works really well, plus it adds a bit of strategy during certain scenarios. One character could be sniping while the other one's in a helicopter, or you can just be doing a full-on assault using the different characters' abilities at any given time. Michael has the ability to go slow-mo, very similar to Max Payne. Trevor goes into a rage mode where he takes less damage and deals double damage, and Franklin, as the wheelman, can slow down time while driving, which comes in handy in the open world, but not always during a mission. And I actually forgot that I could switch at times, just because I was so distracted by all the flying bullets, and thinking back, a different character could have given me a much better rating. For me, that's kind of important, and it adds a new layer of replayability, since you earn a bronze, silver, or gold rating for your performance. For completionists out there, that just makes for a lot more to do and redo in different ways and to get all those shiny gold medals that you so badly want.
So these things built to last, or am I just paying for the evangelical logo here?
What helps make exploring so continually interesting, aside from the mountains to climb, lakes to dive, wilderness to wander through, is how GTA 5 knows it's a GTA game. It's dotted with references fans of the series will recognize, like mentions and appearances from past characters. Interacting with and listening to some of these characters was some of the best written spoken dialogue of any of the GTA games I played before, and more than one time I found myself laughing out loud at what's happening on screen. Other times I was in pure shock, but those are entirely different moments. Aside from the main heist that formed the backbone of the storyline, and like Red Dead Redemption before it, random missions can interrupt what you were doing, but invariably lead to another, more memorable moment. Like the time as Michael, I had just argued with my in-game wife, and so I decided, screw her, I'm gonna go clean myself up, get a new suit, and show her that I'm still man enough to pick up a hooker or two. Doesn't really make a lot of sense, but this is what I was going through. So suddenly I found the hairdresser had been assaulted by armed robbers as I had walked in. I'm on my knees as they rob the place, so what do? I decide to chase them outside, mow them down with my assault rifle in the street. I then take the money and return it to the friendly hairdresser, who is so thankful I now have a 20% discount there every time I go back. And it's also great that the game is open from the start, since you'll be piloting planes, riding jet skis, and stealing cars virtually from the get-go. If you do want to take a break, there's the golf course or the tennis court. But to be honest, I was so focused on finishing the missions, I didn't really want to stop and smell the roses for too long. But of course, that is all still waiting for me when I decide to go back. I found that performing heists was the main source of my income, and I didn't need to speculate on the stock market or do too many optional assassinations or armored car robberies to have enough cash to buy all the weapons, ammo, armor, and upgrades that I needed to finish the main campaign. How much money you get on a job actually depends on the quality of the crew you hire. If you want to get an expert shooter, he will definitely demand a bigger cut of the take. Of course, this will help you succeed, but also it might mean that you won't get that gold reward for taking the easier route, since there might be things that are locked out or possibly that your gunner did that you were supposed to do instead. That said, each of the 3 main character stats do increase over the game, depending on how much you use them. Though to be honest, it was tough to tell exactly how much better I got at shooting after taking Michael to the gun range for some practice. Like the game's logo indicates, money does play a big role in the game. If you want to get the coolest of the toys or properties, you're going to need to earn some cash. One property, for example, is listed at $150 million, and by the end, my richest character had amassed barely a portion of that.
Bud, your negative energy is seriously bringing me down.
But let's talk more about the world of GTA 5. It just feels so vast and often beautiful. Driving towards the sunset over what would be Venice Beach is simply relaxing. The draw distance in the world is amazing given it's running on 7-year-old hardware. There were a few texture pop-ins, certainly, but they didn't distract from the unique look of the characters and all of their animations. Right now it's really difficult to focus the review because there is just so much to talk about, and it's all stuff that really should be experienced firsthand. There might be a few moments where you really stop to question, what the hell am I doing? That thought usually fades away when you remember this is Grand Theft Auto, and this is what Rockstar does best. And a lot of what the game has to offer is just filled with memorable moments throughout the 30 or so hours it took me to complete the main story. Things like going on a heist with a Juggernaut suit, or going to the strip club and throwing a couple ones, or possibly making it rain, or just jumping in the water just to see what is there, or going on your phone and browsing random websites in your stocks, reading text messages, emails. Well, you get the idea, the list just keeps going on. But even now, after actually finishing the final mission in the middle of this review, I cannot wait to go back and explore the world. I want to spend some more time with those characters that I may have ignored in the first playthrough and try to get more out of their story. I know I got some planes to buy, got a few balls to hit at the golf club, and then perhaps knock over a few more armored trucks, who knows.
Fucking beautiful. Perfect. It's a gangbang. Let's go. Come on.
And if it sounds like I'm gushing, it's because I am. It was hard to imagine that a Grand Theft Auto world could be any more alive and enticing, but this one is. The good, the bad, the downright insane. Getting through the main story in a timely manner was a challenge in itself, but in the time I found that GTA 5 was possibly the most well-paced open-world game that I've ever played. I never felt like I didn't have something to do, and as of right now, I'm going right back in to do it all over again. I've been with the Grand Theft Auto franchise since the beginning, way back in '97, and it feels like GTA 5 is the culmination of everything we love about the series. It's big, it's pretty, and most importantly, it's just non-stop fun.
Yeah, well, maybe I should come up there and practice my backhand on your face!